now we're live. Hey, there we go. Are we live? Are we live? We're not live there. Oh, yes we are. Hooray! Nice. Somebody's already chatting. Okay, that's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. Let me tell the Discord. There we go. I don't know what publish does. What does publish do? I don't know what that does. Okay, we're live there. Hey, Emmett. How do I sound? Does everything sound okay? Does everything look okay? How we feeling? Looks good, sounds good, good. Okay. Way too low, as in my audio is way too low. Hello, can you hear me? Test, test. It does look a little low. Test, test. All right, I can keep the mic closer. Hey, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. I'm actually loving it too. I think it's awesome. Looks good, sounds good. Volume's good now, way too low, better, keep it closer, loving solo. Great. All right. We got a new version of solo. Hey, TJ. New version of solo that I shall be testing out. I haven't seen any problems with GitHub. I also don't use pull requests very often, but it looks like mine are showing up, so seems okay. All right, we just finished releasing version 0.6.4. So it's not public yet. You're seeing a dark screen on Twitch. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Switch to YouTube, I guess. I'm using Restream, so they should figure it out. I can't help you there. So I'm going to be testing this out. I'm also going to be working on other stuff. I've got my macOS Tahoe running here. I've got my Windows machine running here. And so as we go, we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff here. This one is working on a mobile app. What? This one is trying to do Carpathy style auto research on the back end, like processes, to make it, I guess, the terminal, to make it more snappy. And it's been running for, I think it's been running for like 48 hours now. So if we copy this link and we say Okay. The only problem with VNC is it doesn't always paste very well. I don't even know if speech will work on this other machine. How long has this process been up for? So this is a macOS Tahoe machine running in the back next to a Windows machine. Oh no, Roxy is here. No, don't do that. Just use the MCP. Hey, Roxy. We'll see how long. I think that's been running for like 48 hours. Yeah, ghosty. Oh, maybe I turned off the MCP over here. That's okay. So, ghosty. Ghosty's great. There is a libweb ghosty. This is the wrong machine. There's a libweb. No, libghosty web. Yeah, you and me both, Roxy. I got like 40 videos I want to record. This is the problem with Ghosty Web 2 months ago. So they're just not keeping up with Ghosty itself. So, and because this is a Atari application, I can't just pull in libghosty. It has to be the Wasm version. And Xterm doesn't really fit our architecture anymore. So that's not really going to work. So we had to write our own, unfortunately. And this has been cruising for 2 days, just doing performance checks and verifying and landing changes. Now this one is building a full mobile app. I just switched from Electrobun to native Mac just for the terminal. Yeah, so over here, this is solo Windows. This is not out yet. I don't even know if this fully works. This is solo Windows. Oh, YouTube, much better than any of the other streaming services. And one thing I had to do for Windows is this. All those freaking shell profiles that y'all have over here. So we've got PowerShell, Windows PowerShell, Command Prompt, Git Bash, WSL, and Ubuntu WSL. I'll be honest, I barely understand. I barely understand how y'all do this. But if I were to come over here, I could do PowerShell. Oh, it doesn't match. Oh, that's not good. Well, this is brand new, so I'm not surprised. New PowerShell. What does that look like? Okay. And then if I did Windows PowerShell, what does that look like? Boy, those look the exact same to me. Let's try WSL. WSL, okay. Hey, so that works. Yeah, it's bizarre to me. It's bizarre to me how there are so many different Windows shells. That's not something I'm used to. So this is the first pass at making Windows usable. Obviously, well, let's just keep going. So if we did, what is it? Control K? No, Control T. I'm still not even used to the keyboard shortcuts. So I can type power and it doesn't show up. So that's a problem. So let's do this. We're going to take a screenshot. Yoink. And then we're going to type power. We're going to take another screenshot. Yoink. And we're going to drag that into Codex. And then I got to find where these screenshots are stored. share X. That seems right. Screenshots. That seems right. Yes, good. All right, let's try this. Our command palette matcher doesn't match the new shells that we just added. I got to figure out speech to text. I wonder if I just use, so this is a Windows machine. Hey, Jordan, this is a Windows machine, but I have speech to text on my Mac that's running all of this. So I just wonder, hello, testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh, hell yeah. That rules. Cool. All right. So we have speech to text on all the computers. That's nice. So this is the Tahoe machine. It's still cruising on the mobile app. All right, let's test this out. So we are going to go to soloterm.com/admin. I am just, for the sake of safety, I'm going to blur that real quick because I don't think anything would show up. I just don't want to accidentally show users' email addresses. All right, so this is safe. Okay, so here is the back end of Solo. We are looking forward to the Linux release. Yeah, you and me both. Here's the back end of Solo. We are going to attach a user group, and we're going to start by just the tryhard team. All right, so now this one should be visible to just the tryhard team, which it is. That's good. Good so far. So I can kill that, and I'll go ahead and kill that, and then we'll do we'll launch. I have so many development versions of Solo here. Okay, cool. So the update, it does show me that there's an update available, so that's good. All right, we can. Okay, so I always want to test the real life thing. So we're going to update, download update. Restart now, correct. All right, here we go. So this should be version 0.6.4. You are on the latest version, correct. We have the new soloterm.com/discord if you want to join the Discord for not only for Solo, but definitely for Solo. I like your videos and focus on databases. Thank you. I have a question. Will you ever show video on how to set up optimal SQLite setup with Laravel? Sounds fun. Potentially. I would say at the very minimum, keep a separate database for your queues, like a separate SQLite for your queues. Make sure everything's in wall mode. And so separate database for your application, separate database for your queues, potentially a separate database for your cache as well. And that will reduce write contention because SQLite is write contended. The reads will be fine. You can get away with many tens, if not 50s of thousands of reads per second, but the writes have to queue up. So if you have your write heavy queues, your write heavy caches competing with your application, you might get in trouble there. But yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good idea for a video. All right, appearance, terminal. All right, here's what we're going to do. We, my friends, my dearest friends, we're going to check the changelog. You can post your link without getting booted. Where are you going to post the link, Roxy? All right, so I want to go to solo. And look at that, guys. 1,700 commits. So when they say, what's the prompt, bro? The prompt is being exhausted for 4 or 5 months. And don't tell my mom, but sometimes I do use these little nicotine pouches. And they're awesome. But I do not recommend it. But they are awesome. I can try to post a message. Let's see, soloterm.com/discord. Let's see if that does anything. Did that show up? Okay, so what I was going to do is come to the changelog. Okay, 0.6.4. This is the new changelog. And we're just going to go through and make sure that most of this stuff actually works. I've already tested it all locally, but I have learned a lot about desktop applications. And one thing I've learned is that sometimes the actual bundling F's everything up. Not everything. It's just like I've left out assets before. Like I've thought that an asset would end up in the production bundle and it didn't. So now I'm scared. All right. Agents now include app level automatic rename toggling. Okay, so this one is in your agents tab. I let the agents rename themselves because that's a nice, it's cool. So if we come over here, hey Mark, and add a who renames himself immediately. Gemini renames itself immediately. So it's going to rename itself to working ... parentheses desktop. It also takes 1,000 years to load. All right, ready, desktop. Okay, so that is Gemini renamed itself, and we allowed that. You can always right click and disable automatic renaming, and then whatever the title is goes to the subtitle. And this stays as Gemini. Now I'm going to enable automatic renaming. And what somebody asked, and I thought it was a good idea, is never let agents rename themselves. Cool. Seems like it works. You can rename yourself. You can't rename yourself. Hey, we love it. All right. Ooh, this is a good one. This one I like. Agent spawned from another agent. All right, so let's make sure the MCP server is on. Let's set up, let's just set this up. So Claude Code configured. These are new. These run buttons are new, by the way. Gemini configured. AMP. I don't know why AMP needs network volume, but sure. They're probably not doing anything bad. And Codex CLI. All right, so now, let's see. Close you, open a new codex, 0%. Oh, weekly, I've got 35% left. Okay, cool. All right, there's Solo 3, which is an old MCP server. Failed to connect to Solo 3, that's good. All right, can you see the Solo MCP? Solo can be tied to your raycast. I need to, so there's Solo right there. It can. The only thing that is stopping you right now is that I haven't released this. Haven't released the Raycast extension, so not yet. Okay, so it can see the Solo MCP. Let's say I want you to spawn a Claude, Codex, and Gemini. Now, ideally, what we're gonna see. Hey, love to hear that. Thanks, Eric. Hey, JR. All right, ideally what we're going to see is a nice new tree UI when it decides. So it's orienting itself. Hell yeah. That looks great. All right, so because those agents were spawned via this Codex agent here, and I'm going to rename this, rename orchestrator. That's what I always call the parent agent. Because those were spawned... Lovely, lovely. Okay, that's looking better. And then you should be able to collapse this and it'll say +3 sub agents. And if you open it, obviously that goes away because you don't need that information because you can already see it with your eyes. Okay, that looks good. Does the status... Ooh, look at that. That lines up. That lines up nice and clean. Cool. Great. Tree view, baby! And the orchestrators rejoice. One nice thing I will tell you, if I may toot my own horn, one nice thing, actually, before I toot my own horn, I want to turn on some music just for me. I don't know how you all feel about stream music. I like to listen to my own music while I background streamers. So I am going to start music that you cannot hear. But I will be curious. What do you need, Codex? Yes, you can always run the tests, goober. I'll be curious what you all think of stream music. All right, toot toot, here we go. Whenever an agent spawns another agent, it automatically disables notifications from those sub agents because the orchestrator should be in charge, and I don't need to know when these sub agents are done because that's not my freaking responsibility. So I find that to be a nice touch. Streams without music are just weird. Uh-oh. Is this a weird stream? Is that what we're saying? This is a weird stream? I don't want to be a weird guy. I want to be a cool guy. Command and jump palettes now recognize solo deep links. This is nice. We like this one. All right, so let's go to to-dos. There are no to-dos in this one. Go to scratchpads. There are no scratchpads. That's fine. I'll just create a new to-do. So we'll go to to-dos, new to-do, yo, yo, yo. Okay, copy this link. Now, if I'm out here and I hit Command K, paste, it works. So if I hit enter and I jump and I can hit back and forth, hell yeah. 5.5 extra high all the way, all day. All day, every day. All right, verified. Deep links work. Process rows can be double clicked to start. This was a good Discord suggestion here. Turns out Discord, not all bad. It's just people after all. So can I double click? Hell, that works. Nice. Double click works. Project headers, I already exercised that. Go to to-dos and go to scratchpads. So the reason I added this one, and I'm actually curious if the T and S should be capitalized there. I think so. That's like, those are proper destinations, whereas link is just a normal noun. Yeah, I like that. I don't like title case. I like sentence case, but I think those are proper destinations for T and S. All right. So those work. We already tested that. Okay. Hey, that was your request. Double click. It's awesome. Good idea. Nah, X-High is awesome. X-High freaking rips. What was I doing? Oh, I added these right-click ones because some people prefer, and I actually maybe prefer, not showing the scratch pads or the to-dos in the sidebar at all. Because I know they're back there, but like the agents primarily handle those. And you can rearrange the order, which is nice. You can rearrange the order of everything. You can also hide certain things. You can hide all of these when they're empty. So you can hide it when it's empty, but for notes and to-dos, you can just hide it all together. Like if you don't ever want to see the to-dos and you only want to get there by the jump palette, so you can go to-dos. Let's do desktop to-dos. Oh, that's a new thing. This caret here separates the two, which I find quite nice. All right, confirmed. Go-to bothers you. What? Why does go-to bother you? Ooh, this one's awesome. All right. Stopped agents with a stored CLI session now show a resume prior session. Okay. So, hey, Dylan. I'm just going over all the bugs and features that I've added, many of which came from the Discord. So thank you. This one's nice. Now, so if we are over here, let's say we're in, I know that Codex does it, and I hit Control C. Nope, Codex doesn't do it. If I hit Control C, oh, it's because I haven't typed anything in any of these. That's why. All right. Hey, what's going on? Hey, can you hear me? All right, so now if I hit this, you see Claude prints that out, resume with this big UUID. You've always been able to right click and do resume session. That's always been there. But now, look, resume prior session. So if you Control C to click out of it or like to exit out of it, Claude will print out its UUID and Solo will capture that. And so you can hit resume prior session. Look at that, right back alive. This is really helpful when you add like a, I don't know, like a new MCP or something, and you have to reboot to restart it. So now that I've typed something, if I hit Control C, all right, Codex resume. Codex resume works also. Resume prior session. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. All right, so that works. Scratchpads now include copy as markdown and save as. Yes, this is actually very helpful. Let's do this. Let's do import scratchpad. I don't think it matters. We'll just import the changelog. It doesn't matter. Okay. There is, oh, that looks ugly, doesn't it? That looks really ugly. Why is that backslash there? That looks ugly. I'll have to fix that. Okay, so now I can come up here, copy as markdown. Is markdown a proper noun? Ugh! Is markdown a proper noun? I feel like it's kind of like chapstick where it's lost its brand protection. Anyway. All right, markdown copied, open Typora. We'll prove that it was copied. It was copied. Cool. Great. And save as file. Cool. I just assume this will work. Changelog test in desktop. Then we'll go to Typora. Changelog test in desktop. Cool. Copy and save. Both work. I do have tests that exercise all of this, but like I said, in the production bundle before I release, I like to test it all myself. What are you doing? You stuck on something? You are. What are you doing? Look, there's a timer. Timer's firing. Look at that. Hey, Privan. So this orchestrator is managing 4 different codexes. It's been running for, I think, like 45, 6, 7 hours. And it's just ripping, which is pretty cool. All right, let's see if this guy fixed. Oh, I am not used to the hotkeys on Windows. All right, let's try this again. Hey, look at that. So now if I do git bash, new git bash shell. What the hell is a git bash shell? I have no idea. I mean, it looks like it works. All right, so what was the issue? Okay, smart. Are there any additional tests we need to add around that? Okay, Windows thing is fixed. Changelog scratchpad, yep. Terminal settings now include a copy. Oh, this is a Discord suggestion, by the way. Terminal settings include copy on select, which, frankly, is kind of nice. Terminal behavior, copy on select. So if you turn on copy on select and then you come over here and you just yoink, look, copied. Now, so I copied from the O through to the I, O through to the I. That works. Now, additionally, because there's so much white space, it shouldn't trigger when it's just white space. So I didn't see the toast, and I should confirm. Great, because I don't want to clobber the clipboard when you accidentally like click and drag just a little bit into a little space. People with white IDE background cannot be trusted. Don't care. Solo built in PHP. No, Solo is built in Tari. And so on the back end, it's Rust. And on the front end, it's React. Okay. To-dos support in progress. That was also a Discord suggestion. So let's go to to-dos. And can I change this to in progress? I sure can. Do the filters support in progress? Yes, they do. Does it work correctly? Seemingly. Cool. Oh, guys, it's good. Oh, this is one that the agents taught me. So MCP servers have resources, they've got tools, and gosh, there's something else. Yes, you should switch from warp. My goal is to destroy warp in like a friendly way. And also destroy conductor, also in a friendly way. So MCP servers have resources and tools. And I would often do something like this. I would go to copy link on a to-do. Let's come over here. Can you read this? So everything has a deep link. And when I would ask it to read it, it would do the resource read. Here it chose the direct tool, which is good. But if you do... So before you warm it up to say like, hey, can you go see what all the tools are? Let's just try this. Can you read that? Let's see if it opts for the resource read or for the tool get. Well, it did tool get, which is good. That's what I want it to do. Scratchpads. Let's try another one. Can you read that one? So I'm giving the agents two different ways to read, because half the time they choose resource read. There you go, read MCP resource. So that time it chose not to use the actual tool. It chose to use the read resource. Now, use the scratchpad tool to read just the headings. This is cool. The MCP exposes different read patterns. So if they want to just read the headings without getting all the content, on the back end, Rust will parse out all the headings for it. So that preserves its context. That's how it normally will start. It'll say like, oh, let me just read the headings from this file so I don't load 50,000 characters of markdown in. So that works. Friendly destruction is my favorite too, especially when I'm the destroyer and not the destroyee. Scratchpad append. So one thing that can happen if you have a bunch of agents orchestrating with each other, like these guys here, is for updating a scratchpad, the agent has to send what version they think it should be on, to make sure that they don't overwrite each other's changes. So like if, a poorly behaved agent just writes something without reading it first, it can just totally clobber your scratchpad. So I have this expected revision, and on the back end, if they don't send the correct expected revision, like we're on revision 14, then I block it and say, hey, you've got to go read it first before you can update it. But appending is kind of like a fire and forget. So now they can do that. Scratchpad and to do have a bottom over scroll. They sure do. Scratchpads. Oh, we don't have enough. Yep, that's fine. I know that that works. Multiple statuses. Yeah, previously you could only select one status at a time, but now you can select multiple. Yep, that works. Ooh, look at all these fixes. Ooh, no. Look at all these fixes. This is a curious one. Agent rename now treats submitting the underlying process name with while an automatic title is visible as a request to restore that name and disable future updates. Okay, so watch this. I am in Codex right here. Okay, that is actually not the name. The orchestrator named that one. Great. So I launched Codex. Codex renamed itself to desktop the same way that it would do in Ghosty. So if you go to Ghosty and you go to desktop, then you launch Codex. See how it renames itself to desktop up there? Now I can hit Command P, rename, and right now the underlying name is Codex. The temporary name is desktop, but if I hit rename that as Codex, what it actually did was it disabled automatic renaming. So I realized, or rather I recognized that you wanted to name it Codex. Codex is in fact the underlying name, and so I just disable automatic renaming when that happens. So you can enable automatic and disable automatic, and then you get the little hint there. Does Solo Simple run the Codex Cloud and so on as subprocesses? Yeah, Solo is most functionally a terminal. It is, I'm calling it a meta harness because you're using your own subscriptions, you're using your own CLI tools. If you go over to agents, these are your actual CLI tools. You can see I've added Claude Danger. So yeah, it's running your own stuff. You're at no risk of getting banned. You're also at no risk. I saw Conductor was routing 5.5 requests to 5.4 accidentally. It's just not going to happen here because this is just a terminal. All right, so that one is confirmed, validated, good news. We already tested that one. Jump palette search prefers shorter targets. I don't know how I'm going to test that one. How would I even test that? Yeah, I know that it works. Blank or, yep, that one works. Long installed font names. I know that that one works. I don't have a font without a descriptor, so I can't test that. Ooh, we can paste markdown. Let's try that. That was a bug. Let's see. Yeah, if the underlying harness has a bug, sure. That's not my problem, though. How can let's do new scratchpad, and then I need to get some markdown from somewhere. Perfect. Look at that. It also took the title out of the display and set it up as the title up top, which is kind of nice. Cool. Scratchpads with large markdown, renders progressively, correct. Sidebar navigation follows the rendered sub agents. So yes, that works. That works. And if I pop out and collapse that, cool. Yep. Yep. Look how fast that is. Look how freaking fast that is. Cool. That works. Yep. Fix that. Fix that. Oh, yeah. This was a problem. Okay. That works now. There was an issue where when I collapse the sidebar, so if I rename this one to solo desktop something very long, where it wouldn't grow again, now it does. Boy, center truncation, harder than they would make you believe. So fast, so furious. All right, cool, that works. Hey, Chase, you did make it. I feel like you're probably stuck. What are you doing? Yeah. Okay, yes, add the cheaper test for multi-word. All right, what are we doing? Reclaim available width. That one's impossible to test. We did do a lot of font hardening. Did you guys know that I shipped you paid fonts? You can use Mono Lisa. I bought Mono Lisa for you. It's pretty. I also bought what's the other one? Input Mono. One of these days I'm gonna figure out ligatures, but boy, I did some research on that, and that is not easy. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. It's all looking so crispy. The speech-to-text app that I use is called Monologue by the Every team. Every.2 maybe? Use Monologue. Monologue.2. It's good. I like it. I do like JetBrains Mono. Oh, so crisp. We don't even need... Look at that. Oh, it's so good. All right, what else did we fix? That is mostly true. I think there's still one or two cases where that can happen. Ignores white space. Should stay stable. This was a weird one. Gemini eats the right click somehow for some reason. So I had to fix that. Okay, this seems good. Let's yeah, there are like a million speech to text tools, and I see developers come out with new ones every day, and I'm just Godspeed to you. But I don't know, man. That's not a market I would enter. I've entered a very crowded market. I wouldn't want to enter the speech to text. Yeah, work trees. I am not yet pleased with the way that anyone does work trees. So I haven't yet shipped work trees because I don't like how anybody does it. There's a future where I do work trees. But I first have to figure out how to make it not bad. The actual coding agents like Claude or Codex will spin up a work tree on its own, and that is totally transparent to me, so I don't mind it at all. But the actual apps that do work trees, I'm not yet convinced. Somebody just rang a bell. You rang a bell. Orchestrator. Scratchpad 80. is routed to review and focused validation. BW landed a narrow, reported green so far. Cool. Thank you. Keep going. What are you up to? Okay. Looks good. Codex. Yes, you can always run the tests. Let's see. Oh, what did I do? I hit the wrong. I hit Command T. Guys, I am so bad at Windows. Where is it? It's in Code Solo. Can you? Hey, Rafal. I do work trees in the prompt. Do work tree with experiment. Name the thread. Feature X work tree. Yeah, I don't mind when the agents do their own work trees. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm with you, Chase. I may need to download Conductor at one point. It feels weird saying, like, I want to destroy them in a friendly way, but then also download it and see what they're up to. Can you modify your own settings such that never needs permission? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I gotta get a place for people to, like, you can show off your solo skills in the Discord. There's like a showcase channel, but I need, at some point once this is all done, I need to like centralize some of that. Like, what? Get dash content, select dash object. This is just like literally a foreign language to me. And Linux users rejoice because I am setting up a Linux machine out there. I know that I could probably do it on this Windows machine, but I wanted like an actual Linux desktop. All right, so you're working. How do I escape? I hit the wrong key. Maybe, there we go. That's what I want. All right, run npm pre-push. Boy, PowerShell. Things I never thought I would have to learn. That's okay. We don't mind learning. We encourage it even. All right, I think 6.4 is ready to go out to the beta testers. Let's just blur just in case. Just in case I end up on the wrong. All right. Cool. We're good. I'm just really scared about leaking people's emails. All right, let's go in here. We're going to attach beta testers and Chris Morrell. Why not? All right, so now that is going out to 37 people. Cool. Done. That's great. I'm happy with this version. Marius, send me in Discord if you have a license. Unfortunately, it's not meant to be like an upsell thing, but the only way that I can gate releases is by license. So if you have a license, put your email in the Discord, and I can add you to the beta testers. Same for you, Andrew. Great. So give me your license email in the Discord, and I can add you to the beta testers group. Yeah, I just launched a Discord. Soloterm.com/Discord will get you there. Look at you guys having licenses. That's so nice. Okay, so that all works. That's going out. Was I actually doing anything? I wasn't actually doing anything. All right, now, Ghosty. We're going to launch the Z desktop, npm start, dev. No, let's do debug open. All right, so the production one works. We're gonna start dorking around with the development one. Oh, I gotta update the goals on the little stream thing. How do I do that? How do I do that? We'll just ask. We'll ask Codex to do it. Can you mark the release solo 0.6.4 as completed? Let's see if it does that. So ideally, we will see the stream template. We'll see the stream template, mark that as completed. Hey, look at that. It works. You want to see something cool? Let's do this too. What should we do next? We are going to, we're just going to work on solo features. Okay, so if I hit Command C and copy that, and then I hit this button on my Stream Deck, does it work? It works. The streaming template works. I got to figure out how to complete the to-dos without asking Codex to do it. Consider adding themes. Oh, I've considered it. Oh, my friend, I have considered it. Hey, if you have not, watch this pro streamer move. If you've not liked the stream, please do. Was that good? Did I do that right? Please like and subscribe and, I don't know, give me all your money or something. But definitely like, because I need to get those numbies up. All right, who's doing what? You're stuck. And the problem is this version of Solo does not have, I hardened the idle detection. So you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? Claude. Can you see the Solo MCP? I'm going to create a Watchdog here. Oh, why? This is a development version. Maybe I'll just make Codex do it. MCP setup. There we go. Claude. Hey, thank you. Hey, Len. Thanks, Andy. Claude MCP remove Solo. Seems like I need to add transport to that command. What about now? This development version. So let's do this. I think we need to add transport to that. Well, it says, all right, let's do this. Codecs. Can you see the solo MCP? I know that this guy can because he's talking to that guy. I know that this guy can because he's talking to those 4 guys. All right, so we got a Claude issue here. Can you name yourself Watchdog? I had filed a tax extension. For being a CPA, I am the worst tax filer ever. Rename Watchdog. There we go. All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to set a 1-minute recurring solo MCP timer to wake up and check on all these sub agents that the orchestrator has spawned. Solo currently has a bug that has been fixed that causes codecs to appear to be running when it's on a permission prompt. And so the orchestrator is not picking up on it. So every minute, I just want you to wake up. And if there are any pending permissions prompts, I just want you to go in and approve them. Repeat back the plan so I know you understand it. 3 years behind. You can go to jail for that, by the way. Yes, Len, it is the mechanism by which they chat with each other. So if we look here, that's existing. See this scroll jump? That's one of the bugs I fixed. So if we look, boy, this one's been doing a lot of work. Well, this orchestrator has spawned this worker here, and it's communicating with it. All right, the plan as I understand it, keep this agent as the watchdog. Wake up every minute using a solo MCP timer. Since MCP timer is 1 shot, no, you can loop it. Whatever you want, Andrew, you can drop it. On each wake, approve, caveat. Yeah. You can actually set a looping timer via solo MCP, and you can use the process tools to read the output of terminals and to send raw bytes. So that's how you should do it. I would happily join forces with anyone that wants to pay me millions of dollars, just so that that's on the record. So it's listing all the processes. It found all the commands that are running. It's listing the timers. It shows no timers. There are no timers. There's nothing to approve. Boom, it set a timer for itself. Now has a looping MCP timer, firing every 60 seconds. Cool. All right, so now the watchdog is watching. Put you at the top. The problem with using Solo to develop Solo is you use it and you find all the bugs, and then you're deep into something and you can't restart it. It's finished. Check on it. Okay. Yes. Pre-push passed. Great. Okay, you can go ahead and commit and push that. Okay. See, it's reading the process status. It just closed its own child. It's spawning a new one. Look, it spawned a new one. This is what I told it to do, was anytime a codex finishes working, spawn a Claude to do a QA. And so it's about to send it the input. Boom, there you go. You are Claude QA. Do this stuff, read this stuff. See, this is one of the super nice things is it can say, hey, read these to-dos. Read that to-do. Read that stuff. And it doesn't have to like keep it all in its brain. It just writes to-dos down. I don't see the timer icon showing up. That is potentially a bug that we fixed, but can you confirm you set a timer for yourself? What do you need? Yes, you can always add stuff via Git. Yeah, that is the bug that I've fixed. Okay. So now you're cooking. Now we have the development version here. Now what we're going to do is check on Windows. I'm pretty laissez-faire with committing and pushing because nothing ever goes out unless I tag a release. So it doesn't make me very nervous. Pre-push passed, working tree is clean. So we're getting close to a Windows release. Origin main has moved quite a bit. Can you rebase on top of Origin main, paying careful attention to the Windows specific fixes we've added? All right. Okay, let's see. I found a solution for that. I use my own term for your dev product. You can have persistent mode where the terminals stay alive as the app restarts through a daemon. Yeah, that's interesting. I need to look at that. I haven't looked at that very deeply. But one thing I worry about is losing and reattaching the PTY handler, which I'm sure is possible. Let's find out. For my desktop application Solo, whenever I quit Solo, obviously all the processes that Solo spawned die. And I've got a lot of safeguards around making sure that everything quits. Would it be possible to keep all those processes running? Because like when you update Solo, you have to wait until you're at a stopping point to quit the app, because it's going to kill all your actively running terminals, which is kind of a pain. My concern is one, losing the PTY handle and then regaining it when the app starts again. And I also don't want to spawn the processes through a sidecar or anything, because I'm worried about the bytes having to jump through two programs to get to the terminal. But I just don't know enough about it to say if that's possible or should be a concern or not. Can you do some research on that for me? It's going to ask me a couple of questions. There we go. Shh, don't tell them about cloud workspaces. They don't know about that. See, I don't know, man. This makes me nervous because I keep the whole scroll back state in the rest side. Makes me nervous. All right, let's see. I don't think I'm going to do this. I am open to it being a separate, long-lived process, but that makes me nervous. It should work for local PTYs. Don't worry about anything cloud yet. Goodness. The running terminals, I mean, yeah, ideally you launch the app again and you get your scroll back. But this is why it makes me so nervous, because that feels like, one, that feels like you quit Solo and Solo didn't actually quit, which I don't like that at all. We could potentially solve that through disclosures, UI, UX, or something. I don't know. You're going to have to figure it out. All right, let's see. If you can join Discord, I can tell you. You can join Discord. Soloterm.com/Discord. Hello, Philippe. From Spain. What time is it in Spain? All right. Now what I want to do. So this is my development one. Oh, yeah, I don't do voice chat in Discord. I try not to use Discord, any of Discord's features. We need to start cleaning this up. $22.55. That's not too late. It's getting late. All right, in desktop 4, what I'm going to do, this is the other problem with developing Solo and Solo, is I have to do the MCP shuffle. Let's just see. Can you see the Solo MCP? If so, can you run Who Am I to see who you are? I need to see if it's bound to the production one or the development one. Oh, cool. It's bound to this one. So you are Codex, you're running, and I have copy to highlight to copy turned on. You're in project 4. Yep, that's correct. Cool. I want you to, I believe you're currently on main. I want you to switch and check out pull request 36, which is the color scheme branch. You all are going to see the full redesign. Everybody's working. Yes, you can do that. You are still trying to update your own permissions. This is crazy. How many likes are we at? Can somebody tell me how many likes we're at on YouTube? Are we at enough? Do we have we got a lot of likes here, or are we just struggling? Somebody tell me. All right. You're still working on the mobile app. Cool. You're still researching. Now, are you... Yep. 17. That's embarrassing. But you know, you got to start somewhere. So somebody liked the stream. What did I set it at? 100 likes. That was maybe ambitious. That was maybe ambitious. All right, I'm checked out on PR 36. 21. Hell yeah. There we go. There's some movement. All right, now So desktop 4, we're going to rename this to redesign. And we're going to come down and we're going to start Tari. Oh, I probably need to install stuff. Okay. There we go. I haven't seen this yet. I've seen parts of it, but we'll finish this maybe like last week. I've been trying to make my own skill. Want to make sure I'm using all the tools without having to tell it. Also not Gizzle tokens. There's no official skills yet. I found the way to make it not guzzle tokens is to make sure that they're using scratchpads and to-dos to do the orchestration, like to write stuff down so they don't have to keep remembering everything. And then you could probably tell it, you could probably, look at that. You could probably tell it to close agents instead of continuing to reuse them, because I know that saves context. All right, here we go. Look at that. The gray is it's a little gray for me. That's a codex issue. Let's make this a little smaller. This is looking much better. I don't know, I'll be honest, I don't know what to do about this sidebar. Because I kind of like them being discrete, like having their own sections. So I don't know what to do about that. The problem is this is like 100 commits behind. This is like 100 commits behind main. How far behind main is this branch? Oh man, I'm out of codex usage. Let's see. I think this is going to be like 100 or more commits behind. Which is going to be a problem. Yeah, no, definitely. I need to add that. I need to add a lot of this to faster. Now that this is done, I feel like I can focus on that a little bit more. Oh, thank goodness. Test npm run. Okay. Can you similarly allow git add and git commit, please? All right, so that's still cooking. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. 687 commits behind. Oh no. Shoot. Oh man. Also, my clean shot is I just bought another license for that, but I'll do that later. 687 commits. What do I do about that? What do I do about that? shoot. No! Well, that's a lot. So we're only 39 commits ahead. But a lot has shifted. So what's the plan here? I feel like getting it caught up to main is going to be problematic. Replaying it on to main could also be problematic. Why don't you do this? Why don't you start by figuring out where the biggest conflicts are and give me a report on that. Oi. Not great. Are you up to date with main? Main, come on. I might have to give up. Go for broke. Give up for broke and start over. Darn. I think the robot might figure it out. Temporary merge tree. Great. That's awesome. You do whatever you want to do. That's when I'm like, yeah, work trees, merge trees, whatever, man. Can you pull? All right, so on this one, we're going to make one or two quick changes. Can you look at the help docs for Claude CLI for, I believe it's Claude add, or maybe Claude MCP add? I think they expect a transport flag that we currently, from our settings, we currently don't add that flag. And I think we need to add the standard IO flag for the transport. But can you run Claude CLI and figure that out first? Claude AD, maybe Claude MCP AD. All right, what are you saying? You're saying a lot. Scrolling's a lot smoother, so I think I did fix that bug. That's nice. So one nice thing that I have here is this pre-push script. Hey, Kyle. I have this pre-push script that does all kinds of stuff. It does type checks, it does shell checks, it does Rust checks. And it's really nice because it does it all. So I never have to remember, like, hey, can you check the types? Can you check cargo formatting? Can you check shell formatting? It just tell it run pre-push and it runs literally everything. What are some other common commands that are non-destructive but annoying to approve every time that you could add? Let's see what it says. I just cannot believe this one has been working for so long. Oh, we got another one going back here. Always. All right, what are you doing? Yeah, that's fine. Let's see if Claude has finished its research. All right, it's ready. Hey, the missus is coming to Lara prom. That's going to be so freaking fun. All right, let's see. So this is a research report on separating Solo, the GUI app, from the mechanism that launches the actual processes, so that Solo can be quit and restart. I don't think this is going to work. In part because what happens if I update the the process that actually manages the processes. Somebody has to be draining the master at all times. Okay, y'all read this. I'm going to use the restroom. I'm going to make sure you can't hear me first. Also got some trail mix. All right. Hey, it's Jason. Hey, Leneski. Try not to eat in the microphone because that drives me freaking insane when other people do that. All right, so this is the research report. I am unconvinced that we can pull this off, or that I even want to pull this off, honestly. All right, build a launchd manage helper that owns every PTY, drains it continuously into a parsed grid, and relays bytes to the GUI over a domain socket. Okay. Okay. The pseudo terminal buffer is 1024. Somebody has to be draining it at all times. All right, so iTerm, WesTerm, tmux, VS Code. Okay, so it is possible. Single most important factor. Oh boy, I don't really want to do this. Aaron's worry. Two programs to get sounds plausible but doesn't survive. Fine, I'm okay being wrong. A typical shell emits a few kilobytes a second. So Tmux does do this. WesTerm does. This is what I'm currently running into right now, is large files getting through the ANSI parser, which I'm already working on. All right, what do you think? What do you think this is supposed to look like? Yeah, we don't use Xterm, so that's no good. iTerm spawns a server per session and reattaches by enumerating them on relaunch. Boy, this feels like a rabbit hole. Okay, I already used this. I already used that. Yeah, I don't write my own parser. This makes me nervous, guys. Frame coalesce on heavy output is interesting. The human interface guidelines, the HIG guidelines, lean into rather than minimize. Okay, so it's possible, but I don't know if I want to do it. This is the one I was worried about. The helper binaries should be backwards compatible at the IPC level. We don't use IPC, but whatever. GUI offers restart, background to apply, gracefully migrates. That's interesting. Hey, Yasin. Yeah, I'm not doing App Store. I don't know if I want to do this. We'll see. At least I know it's possible now, so that's good. All right. So this is the new... Oh, that's nice. Oh, good job, Will. That's really nice. Hey, that's great. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So the redesign branch... Hey, fellow ag. Gig'em. The redesign branch is 600 commits ahead. Command palette redesigned. What does the command palette look like now? I like the double. I don't like the heavy white borders, but I like the double. That's cool. Man, that's a good looking command palette. God, these icons are sick. Will made all of these icons himself. Okay, command palette redesign, yep. Added new palette files, yep. Main also deleted the per mode palette files. Ah, F, you're right. Heavy conflicts in the project sidebar. Yep. Main has a major terminal renderer rewrite. Yep. I know that's right. Tests. Yep. Damn. Rebasing the whole branch commit by commit will be painful. The better route is a fresh branch off of origin main and then port. Damn. Yeah. Oh no! What are we gonna do? That sucks. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a new branch off of main. We need to preserve all of the main functionality while applying the color scheme UI UX. The major terminal rewrite is pretty important. It is good now. It sucked before, so don't bring anything over from color scheme as it relates to like the plumbing or the like underlying terminal, but instead bring over the shape, the look and feel, the command palette. We're basically going to have to rewrite the design from we're going to have to take the design from color scheme and kind of hand write it on top of main, because the command palette is much cleaner now. Like the data model is a whole lot better, but it doesn't have any of the nice UI affordances that the color scheme branch has. Similarly, the sidebar, the only thing I can think that we introduced that does not map cleanly to this color scheme branch is we added the ability to nest agents. So I don't know how that's going to map, but we'll have to figure that out. I think that should be okay. Can you... let's see. Can you create a scratchpad via solo MCP that lays out the plan, the checkpoints and the gates, and then we will start to implement it after that. But let's start with putting together a plan. Oh, this is going to be a freaking slog. Yeah, go ahead and add all of those. All right. Windows thinks it's all good now. See, look, process adopted from previous session, no PTY connection. That's what happens if solo crashes. All right, I don't need... Oh, come on. What is the command? It's Control W. See, that shouldn't happen if the terminal is stopped. That doesn't happen on Windows, or I'm sorry, on Mac. On Mac, when we try to close a terminal that is stopped, we do ask them if they want to close it, but we also have a little checkbox that says don't ask me about closed, or I'm sorry, don't ask me about stopped terminals anymore. Is that possible to have on Windows? Check how we do it on Mac to confirm that I'm not making that up. And then let's see if we can add that to Windows as well. Okay. So, yes. Does this work? Oh, it works. If I hit restart, does it restart? It does. If I double click, does it start? It does. Can I run Claude? It already renamed itself, so it appears to be working. I don't know if it's fuzzy and ugly because I'm running it on, like I'm running Windows at the wrong resolution because this machine's in the closet back there and I'm remoted into it. Or if Solo is fuzzy on Windows. I gotta figure that out. Okay. How many likes do we have? Has everyone liked the stream? Because I don't think I'm gonna hit 100, and that's gonna be really embarrassing. So if you're on YouTube, please like it so that I don't embarrass myself. If we hit 100 likes, I'll stop using nicotine pouches. That's not true. I am gonna try to stop, but they're awesome. Speaking of. You know what? I have not tested the MCP server on Windows. Claude Code. All right, that worked. Thank you for liking. Thank you. All right, let's see if I hit Control C. Oh, I didn't say anything, so there's no resume. Can you see the solo MCP? I haven't actually tested that over here. I guess voice got lost there. Can you see the solo MCP? Oof. I need to change my theme to light. Ah, freaking Windows. Ah, what buttons am I pushing? Cool. Now, does Control C work? I can't paste on Windows. That feels like a problem. Windows, man. All right, so I can right click paste, but the keyboard, Control V, Command V. Okay, that doesn't work. That's why speech to text didn't work. Sure. Can you run Who Am I? Let's see if it actually works. Honestly, I think we're a lot closer on Windows than I thought. I'm Claude. I'm in Welcome to Solo. Yeah, cool. All right, let's start developing on Windows with Solo. So I'm going to remove this project, remove, no projects, add a project. I'm running in dev mode, so it's going to keep rebooting on me, isn't it? It's going to keep hot reloading. Yeah, that's Solo right there. All right, we'll run it. We'll run it in non-debug mode, or we'll run it in non-dev mode. npm start. Here's another tip. If you got a million scripts and you can never remember which one you want, have your machine create an npm start script for you, and then you can just pick. So I want debug open. So debug open is going to run it in such a way that it doesn't hot reload on me, which is kind of important. All right, so did you figure that out? Boy, you're having to read a lot of stuff. All right, Dominic, so here's the question for you. The grep confirms you weren't making it up. That's nice. When this thing launches, Dominic, I'm gonna show you what I've got, and I'll need you to tell me if I'm doing it right. Node command not found. All right, so one of our underlying scripts doesn't work. That's fine. We'll just run it in dev mode for a second. Dominic, I need you to tell me if I'm supporting WSL. because I don't entirely know what it means to support WSL. But I think I am. All right, so that's actively rebuilding. All right, so let's see. Look at that. Boom, look at that. Look at that. You can click on it. Created the solo scratchpad. Color scheme main port. Hey, Danny Thompson. Roxy's here, I think, or she was. All right, so if I click on it, how cool is that? All right, here we go. Yep. Preserve mains terminal rewrite. Correct. Do not port terminal internals. Correct. Command palette data model. Yes. Port the look, feel, spacing, surfaces, color tokens, affordances, and interaction polish. Correct. Favor small reviewable commits. Correct. What to extract. So if you're just catching up, I have a redesign branch that's 650 commits behind main, and so we're gonna have to do it by hand. By which I mean Codex is gonna have to do it by hand. Okay. Yep. Add the design tokens, and then the command palette, and then the sidebar. All right, cool. All right, cool. That looks good. I want you to rename yourself Orchestrator before we start anything. Okay, you're Orchestrator now. All right, here's the plan. You are not going to write any code, but what you are going to do is you're going to spawn Codex W agents. There are two codexes. The regular Codex is out of quota. Codex W is my work account, and it still has remaining quota. So you're gonna spawn Codex W agents. For each discrete task, you are going to tell them what to do. So spawn as many agents as you want, as long as they can work in parallel and not bother each other. Feed them the relevant context. You can give them the link to the scratchpad. You could start by creating discrete to-dos if you wanted, if you feel like that's going to be easier. After a Codex W agent is done, I want you to spawn a Claude Code agent to do the QA on it. If Claude Code agrees that the stuff that Codex W did, you can close them both and commit and move on to a new lane. I'm fine if you do the committing, but I don't really want you to write any code so that you preserve your context. Use the solo MCP timers to wake up when any of your subprocesses go idle. Oftentimes, they'll go idle when they need permission approval. I grant you permission to approve any permission requests that they have to make sure that they keep working. Can you say that back to me to make sure we're on the same page? All right. Confirmed via Claude MCP add. Accepts transport with stdio. Hey, I made that sidebar. Backend now passes transport stdio. Cool. Okay. All right. Can you update the changelog? And then you can commit with a CI skip because I don't want to run CI just for this. If there's an error, we'll catch it on the next push. All right, here we go. We're aligned. Well, I'll be the judge of if we're aligned or not. Thank you very much. I'll act as orchestrator, not an implementation. Create a fresh branch for the color scheme port. Correct. Break it into discrete parallel lanes. Correct. Spawn Codex W. Correct. Give each codex scratchpad relevant. Yep. When codex finishes, spawn a Claude. Correct. If Claude accepts, I'll close both agents, review the result at a high level, commit it, and move on. Correct. I'll use solo MCP timers readiness idle monitoring where available, so I wake up when subprocesses go idle. Correct. You grant me, yes, that is correct. All right. Good luck. Godspeed. Well, good thing, Mick Lebowski. We're redesigning it right now, so your dreams will come true. This is cool. The solo MCP has a help tool, and it can just pass in keywords, and the backend, the Rust process, will tell it. It'll give it more detail than is available in the tool descriptions itself. So that keeps the context really small until it's ready to use those tools, and then it can say, "Hey, tell me more about those tools." All right, Dominic, let's see if Windows is ready. Mobile app is still working. All right, we're going to add Solo itself. Now, here's the real question. Where the hell is Solo on this Windows machine? I think maybe Documents? No. I don't think it's in OneCloud. What is even that? This PC. That seems good. Probably users. Probably Aaron. Getting close. Probably code. Probably Solo. Hell yeah. Trust commands. Trust all commands. All right, Dominic. You ready for this? I'm going to show you something, and you're going to tell me, is this what you had in mind? Because I don't know. All right. So if I hit Control-T, I'm not in a project. If I hit Control-T, WSL. Does this look like I'm supporting WSL? This is not a bit. This is not a shtick. This is a real question. Is this in your head? Is this what you are thinking when you say support WSL? So you could launch a WSL default shell, and it will launch a WSL shell. I don't know what all that stuff means. Or you could do WSL. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. Dominic, you've made my day. We could launch a new one. All right. So yeah, I support WSL. How about that? How about that? That's cool. I don't know what that stuff up there means. I'm going to need some serious beta testers here. One thing I did notice is, what the hell is that? Try running uname a. What's that going to do? I don't know why it appears as if the terminal size is not correct. So one issue is that this, oh my freaking goodness. Is it Alt Tab? There we go. One issue I noticed is these wonky characters up here, and it's rebuilding, so it's frozen. Great. We got 100 other things we can do. All right. Yeah. Git branch is always okay. All right. Status clean, pushed. Great. See ya. Okay. Now let's hop over to desktop. And are you Codex W or Codex? 0%. You're Codex. So we want Codex W. Dominic, you are in luck. Hey, Dominic, if you are not in the Discord, will you go to soloterm.com/Discord and join it? Because you're going to be one of my Windows testers. All right. I want you to look through the scratchpads and see which ones are stale, which ones can be archived, which ones can be consolidated based on the current state of main, because we just fixed a bunch of stuff and we just shipped a bunch of stuff. So do a pass on scratchpads for me, big guy. This, Alex, here's what this is about. First of all, this is about not embarrassing myself. So I need you to like the stream, because on a lark, I put 100 likes. And I don't know where we're at right now, so somebody needs to tell me. This is about building this meta harness application, which is called Solo. How it differs from Superset. I don't know. What's Superset? Never actually looked at Superset. Superset. I think it's .sh. Yeah, that's fine. This looks like one of the ones that this looks like one of the ones that's focused on work trees. I can't really tell. I don't know. I don't know. Here you go. Boy, I love that little affordance. The little blue guy there. That's nice. Look at the FPS at the top, though. Using what for weeks? Hopefully Superset is the one that's buggy. Otherwise, that sucks. Hopefully you're talking about Superset. If you're talking about Solo and you're pre 6.2 or 0.6.2 or oh, thank God. Whew. Solo was buggy, but hopefully it's better now. All right. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Hell yeah. Look, it set its own timer. You can see the little timer. Look, you can see the timer down here as well, and you can click on it and you can see what the timer says. So when the timer fires, it's going to send itself this message. And I could fire it now if I'm like, I don't want you to wait, but it's waiting for, it's waiting for a reason. All right. So here we go. Look, let's look at what this did. It did a lot. Yep. It can read the process back. So it saw that its spawned agents were in the wrong. Hey, Alan. I love you too, big guy. Big Dallas guy. Local friend. All right. So it spawned all these agents and it sent them all of this stuff. And then it quickly read back what the agents were working on. And it said, oh, it's in the wrong spot. I'm going to fix it. Cool. Good for you, big guy. They're running again. I'm setting an idle wake up timer. I'm also creating to-dos so that the commit state is trackable. This is what I'm talking about. If you give it a place to write stuff down, it will write it down and not have to remember it, which is what we want. Coordination is in place. Cool. So now if we click into here, this is what the orchestration agent gave it. Yep, that looks great. And look, freaking, this is so cool. The orchestrator saw it was in the wrong spot. And so it sent the raw bytes, because it can. It sent the raw bytes to cancel it and said, oop, my bad, dog. Make sure you're in the temp work tree. Correction received. I'll keep it all in the temp work tree. Let's look at the to-dos that it created. Look at that. So freaking cool. Did it create a different scratch pad as well? Oh, 4 scratch pads. Look at that. This is great. Good job. Oh, and this one's cleaning up old scratch pads. Love to see it. All right, mobile app is still cooking. Oh my gosh, you can always run cargo test. It drives me crazy. Okay. This one is trying to rewrite our terminal handling. It's a lot better now, but like if we go desktop 3 terminal, I think it's Kaka Fire. I mean, that's better. Like for a terminal that is not Xterm, it's not ghosty, it's just me, I'm pretty happy with that. Hey, if you want to get in on Windows testing, go to soloterm.com/discord, and that'll take you to the Discord. And when Windows is ready to test, I'll let y'all know. And if you haven't already liked the stream on YouTube, please do. And can somebody give me a report? How many likes are we at on YouTube? See, I'm pretty happy with this, honestly. Like, that's good, but we'll see if we can make it better. Sidebar mapper is done. So look, it spawned a Claude code, and now the Claude code is going to go QA only, do not edit files, CD into the temp. Cool. Yeah, have at it. 36 likes. Oh, devastating. Devastating, Alex. 37. Yes! Good job, team. All right, I created 2 consolidated pads, product backlog, CLI integration research. Archived 9. That's great. That's great. 38. That's why YouTubers, I guess, are always like, hey, don't forget to like it, because if you ask people to like it, they like it, which is crazy. Okay. So we updated a couple, we archived a bunch. Can you give me a sense of what's in the product backlog one? Like, what are the product features that have been researched and are backlogged there? Look at that. Boom. Captured the sidebar map. Let's see what it did. Look how freaking awesome this is. Yes, drag and drop geometry is the main risk. I agree. Drag and drop is the bane of my existence. All right, I think I'm done. That was just an example. I can close you. I can close you. Come up here. Okay. Consolidated product backlog. Holding area for researched but unscheduled. Solo terminal autocomplete. Yep. I want that. Scratchpad export. I don't think I want formatted ideas. For the Scratchpad export, I actually don't want formatted HTML, GitHub gist, or anything like that. I'm happy with where we're at now with the copy markdown and save as file. So you can go ahead and just clean that one out altogether. To-do image. Yeah, I need to attach images to to-dos. Conversation resume. Yep. Codex bar. Does anybody use Codex bar? I use Codex bar. It's quite nice. it tells you how much you have left. So I have 2 Codex accounts. I've got my work account and my personal account. My personal one is toast until tomorrow at 1. My work one resets tomorrow at 4, and we still have 32%. So we got to burn, baby, burn. And then my Claude is good, and my Gemini is good. Codex bar's nice. Free, open source. Update ready, restart? Sure. What do I want to do next? All of those are pretty big. Oh, bulk select on to-dos. I feel like is one that somebody asked for. You're still cooking. You can always run those god dang tests. I don't need to see you. I'm done with you. You're still redesigning. Cool. Great. All right. So this is, let's go to desktop 2. We're going to add bulk select. No, I don't use Gemini, actually. I don't know why I still have Gemini, to be honest. I used to have 2 Claudes, but now I have 2 Codexes because Codex or GPT-5.5 is so much better than Claude. I don't know why I still have Gemini. I should probably cancel or downgrade it. A user has requested the ability to bulk select to-dos so that they can, tag them all or mark them all as backlogged or something. Can you do some research and see? I know that we don't even have a select affordance, but provided we have a select affordance, how easy would it be to give them the ability to like bulk edit tags or something like that? Open usage. What's that? Open usage. Honestly, it looks a little nicer than... Yeah. Hey, Peter. Gemini, I just have not found to be very good, which is a shame. God, that looks so much better than Codex bar. This is just too much. Like, even if I go to the overview, like, it's just too much information. Yeah, look at that. This is what I need. So I'll tell you all a secret. As long as you like the stream, you see that? YouTube guy. I'll tell you a secret. If you haven't liked the stream, please close your ears because this is not for you. I am going to, at some point, build into Solo the ability to communicate with Codex bar and an open usage, I guess, because it has a curl or it has a HTTP server as well, so that you can see your usage stats inside of Solo. But not only that, so your agents can see other agent usage stats. So it'll be available via MCP too. So they can be like, so you can say like, hey, my usage resets tomorrow at 9 a.m. I want you to just keep going until you hit 0%, because I know that it resets tomorrow. So just keep doing stuff. But once you hit 0 or 1%, stop, and it will have it'll have an MCP tool to do that. So I need to bookmark this one too, because I need to support that. Cool. Nice. Who said that? Mick Lebowski. Thanks, Mick Lebowski. That's helpful. All right. You're burning stuff down. That's good. All right. What about bulk mutation? Terminal keeps bouncing to the bottom. It's not great. Okay. Seems doable. Can you do the same cleanup pass on to-dos? I feel like we have a lot in there that have either shipped or been superseded. Can you do a pass on that as well? Let's actually see. See, here's a bug. Look at this. I am in desktop 1 and I hit Command E and well, maybe it's not a bug. So by default, it's ranked by recency so that you can just go back and forth, which is a nice, like it just takes you to your most recent one. But if I type to-dos, why is it showing me desktop 4 instead of desktop 1? I think that's recency. I think because I've recently visited. I don't know what to do about that. There's a lot in here, man. 384. All right, for the first version, let's see. Once a select affordance exists, bulk status changes are easy. There are 2 paths. MVP, loop over. You never do the MVP. You're a machine. You always do the right version first. Add Atari batch command, so one operation updates many to-dos. Yeah, duh. I'd call bulk status low effort and bulk tag editing medium low. That's fine. Okay. Okay. Yep, that's fine. All right, let's go full send straight for the correct version. No looping. Create a new batch command in Tari to do the many to-dos at once. And you can go ahead and spike out the UI, and when it is built, I will take a look at it. Boom, done. You set a timer for yourself. Okay, you are still cooking on... So on this one, in desktop 4, we're trying to pull the redesign in, and main has advanced by 600 commits. So we're gonna have to do it by hand. All right, Windows complained about something. Yes, always. You guys want to see my new personal website that I've been working on? Yeah, it's so bad at agentic coding. I don't get it. So for my new personal website, I went with this like notebook paper motif, and I'm really happy with it. I think it's going to be great. Look at this. How clean is that? It's cool, right? I'm super pumped about that. It took me forever to get everything to land on the baseline, the notebook paper baseline. Yes, Dominic, please do. Cool. All right, I don't need you anymore. Who's ringing a bell? Ooh, love that. Command-Shift-E shows me all the terminals that have rung a bell recently. What do you need? I actually don't like the copy on select. I think there are a bunch of to-dos in there that have like no details for the body. I feel like we should just delete those, right? All right, how is bulk editing going? Okay. Nuno! What's up, Nuno? I was watching you earlier. Nuno, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm trying to get good at telling people to like the stream. I'm not very good at it yet. Hey, thanks. I have a back end. Let's see. If we open this back up, we do npm and queues, because I think the queues are required. So if we open this back up and we go to /admin, dev login, images, no, generate. I think I have. So this is the admin area for my forthcoming, always forthcoming personal website. So I can do, I think it's blog illustration. We'll do a square one. And we'll just say, I don't know, sure, Dallas skyline is perfect. Skyline of Dallas. That should kick off a queue. Yep, generating an image. So the idea is that anytime I write a blog post and need an image, I can use this to generate my own images. I think this might be the ballpoint pen. This might be the one that's referenced on the home page. It's actually sketch from reference, because that's a real picture of me. That's what it was. Let's see what the ballpoint looks like. Hey, that's cool too. You want to see something even cooler? So if I go over to edit image and I do, yeah, I can do flood erase. Why not? Look at that. Boom. Now I can drop it into the blog, and then the paper will come through, because now it's transparent. Cool, right? I can do brush erase. How cool is that? I made that. Well, sort of. Look at that. Not bad, right? Kind of cool. Also made a, what is it, option? Yeah, look at that. How cool is that? Isn't that awesome? Not bad. You can see all the images I've been generating. Pretty cool. Yeah, so this is the back end. This is the back end of my blog. So I can create images. I can modify an image. Like I can do a different generation of this one. I can upscale it to 4K. The SVG extraction is okay. It currently uses some model on like foul.ai, but there's a new vectorizer that I need to switch to that works better. But this is Nano Banana 2. If we did GPT Image 2, that's the new model, is the GPT Image 2. So let's do clean black and white ink, skyline of Dallas. So we'll see what the new OpenAI model generates here. I think the new GPT image model is probably the best. Is it working? It's working. This is cool, right? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Takes a long time. Not as a blanket rule. I found a lot of empty bodies. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, do some research on those and see if there are any that look stale. And if they don't look stale, go ahead and augment the body so we have more information. All right, 41 seconds to generate an image. Well, it's a pretty good image. It's a pretty good image, I must admit. Dang. Yeah, that's legit. That's GPT images 2 for you right there. So now what I would probably do is I would probably come over here to edit, and I would do a small flood erase, and I would just erase all of that, erase all of that, and then I would try to keep the actual, like, the backgrounds of the buildings solid. This is so addicting. So if I turn the brush size down and then I zoom in, look at that. How cool is that? And of course, I could do this in Photoshop. Like, I'm not an idiot. But I can also do it on the web. And my my operations person can do this on the web too. So she can generate images. She could generate images for the blog without me, which is nice. Hey, that's fun. That's cool, right? If you think that's cool, wait till you like the stream. That's even cooler. Please, I'm trying to get to 100. How long have I been streaming? Has it been? Oh, I made it to 2 hours. Let's see if this works again. All right, so stream overlay. Here we go. All right, can you mark the 2-hour stream as completed as well? Let's see if the stream overlay updates. Come on. Hey, look at that. Computers. Computers are neat. All right, I just heard a bell. Who's doing what? Okay, orchestrator. The palette implementation worker finished. All right, we're actually moving pretty quick. Now, does any of it work? We don't know yet. Look, there's a timer. That's what a timer looks like when it fires. It says solo timer. Orchestrator, wake up. Check the palette. QA, it's done. And then it went off and did its thing. There you go. This one is still working on bulk to-dos. This one is still researching. This one is stuck. Guys, we're building a mobile app. Did you know that? We're building a mobile application. Why? Because I want to win. And I think to win, you have to build everything. We're also building a Windows app. Look at that. Why? Because I want to win. Okay. So you're not making that up. Oh, bless you. Mac ads with suppress. I added Windows support using Win32 task dialog indirect. Returns the same. Okay, so in theory, God, I pressed the wrong god dang button again. I did it twice now. So control, what is that? That's control tab. That's actually kind of helpful. I want option tab, which maps to alt tab. So now, in theory, because this terminal is stopped, I should be able to hit Control W. Hey, that's what I'm looking for. Boy, that's a hideous, that's a hideous alert dialog. That's not my fault, dog. Okay, close this terminal and remove it. Don't ask for stopped terminals because that's annoying. Okay, done. So now if I hit Control W again, great, it just closes it. Huzzah. All right, you can commit that. Next, we need to figure out why pasting via keyboard does not work on Windows. My guess, it's some sort of command control mismatch. But I'm going to launch a new codex to do that so that I get these permission updates. All right, CD into code, solo, codex. We're trying to get solo working correctly on Windows, and one thing I've noticed is I cannot paste into a terminal. I can right click and paste, but if I just hit paste, it doesn't actually do anything. What about dragging? Doesn't seem like that works very well. I'm also not convinced dragging and dropping works, so I need you to look at that as well. Yes, tell me your favorite conductor features. Tell me all of them. So I have a... This is the wrong computer. This is the wrong computer. This is the right computer. If we open this and we open that, we open this, diffs. That's going to be 700 commits behind. But yes, diffs are coming. I've got a whole, you know what? We have not exercised this yet. Look at that. How cool is that? So we've got a whole plan here for how to win and how to destroy everyone. Diffs are coming. Diffs are behind the design. So after the design, I'll get to diffs and a lightweight editor as well. Surprise. But I don't want to get any further down the feature route before I get the design landed, because I feel like the design is pretty important. How cool is this? That's pretty boss, right? I hope there's nothing embarrassing here. Can you see anything embarrassing? I covered my kid's face. I guess technically you could still see them right there. Yeah, I don't see anything embarrassing out here. That's good. Oh, thank goodness. Who's Gene? My shoes are awesome. Who's Gene? What do they do? Why are my shoes embarrassing? What's wrong with my shoes? What's wrong with my shoes? My shoes are awesome. Don't worry, I would never show my toes on stream. That would be horrifying. My shoes are great. Those are Nikes. You should like those. All right, now that you all have been here for a while, what do we think about music, no music? Because I'm cruising over here. I got my music running right here. Give me what does Nuno always do? W. Give me a W music or an L. If you like no music, you would say L music, I think, because you're saying music is a loser. And if you like music on the stream, if you want me to play my own music, do W music. Because I got to figure out, what do the people want? I'm here for the people. So we're using Expo, React Native, to build this mobile app. W music. Oh no, that's already one. It is OBS. Yeah. You want to see it? You want to see OBS? So I'll show you OBS, but look up here. How do I do this? We have the computer that I'm working on. And then we've got my MacBook Tahoe so that I can test it on Tahoe. And then we've got my Windows machine. But don't forget, we've got my Mac Studio too. So here's OBS. Pretty cool, huh? And I can just push these buttons like, look. So I have my Stream Deck right here. So I can push this button. What should I push so that it doesn't hide? I can change that to overhead as well. Change it back to camera. I can hide it. I can change the scene to full and change the inset to SDI. Inset. Scene to work. Main to SDI. Main to desktop. Main to desktop blurred. How cool is that, huh? Not bad. Now, how do I get back? What was I doing? I was doing main desktop, inset, SDI. There we go. So that is all coming from the Mac Studio. The Mac Studio runs OBS and all the heavy stuff. All right, what do we think? All right. OBS, yes. W music, W Aaron. Hell yeah. L. Depends on how good your taste is. My taste is awesome. But if I were to play music, I think it would have to be like copyright free. So I don't know how good my taste in copyright free music is. Probably not great. Well, the good news is, look, this is Windows Terminal and it still has this bug where it thinks I'm trying to paste something. So that's good. So it's not just me. All right, I found two concrete issues. Control V is treated like terminal control instead of paste. Yep. Physical, while DOM uses hit CSS. I'm going to patch those. Makes me a little bit nervous if I'm being quite honest. Just for the record, the drag and drop works perfectly on macOS, and so what we're looking for is a Windows-specific failure mode, and not clobbering the macOS one that works. What the orchestrator does? The orchestrator is just codecs. I just named it orchestrator. So I just hit Command P, rename. I named it orchestrator. That's it. But what it's doing is it's the one that's like dispatching these sub agents. And these sub-agents, they're just other CLIs. There's really not that much special unless you're an investor, in which case it's very special and you should give me a lot of money. But the idea is that it uses all of your native CLIs. It just gives them like a meta harness to use. So it gives them a lot of affordances to like do things like this. It closed the process, it marked a to-do complete, and it updated scratchpads, which are markdown documents. But at its core, this is just Codex CLI. There's nothing different about that. All right. Oh, man, these images are awesome. How cool is that? Hell yeah, brother. Many tens of dollars? If so, you have my interest. All right, this thinks that it completed bulk selects. So what we're going to do is we're going to start Tari Dev. We're going to launch a discrete solo app, and we're going to try bulk selects for to-dos and see if it works. What are you doing? It thinks it completed the sidebar, which would be wild if it actually completed the sidebar. I can't launch this one because it's working in a temp work tree. Look, timer just fired. So when a timer fires, because you know that like agents will set their own timers and then like never wake up. It'll be like, yeah, I'll check back in on it in 10 minutes, and then it ends its turn. So the solo timers are nice because they inject actual user turns. They inject text into the running agent, so it has to respond because it's as if a user typed it. Great, it's launching a Claude, and it's about to type a bunch of stuff there. First, it's updating the to-do. Look, it added tags to this scratchpad. Oh, it's gone. Look at all those. Look at all those solo links just getting highlighted. That's nice. Boom, there you go. Codex tells you, go review all this stuff. If it passes, tell me. Cool. All right, are you launching? You are launching. Man, this Windows terminal sucks. I tried to download, or I went to look to see if I could download Ghosty for Windows, and surprising no one, it does not exist. Good, it added a Windows platform. I feel like we don't need to check the user agent data. Like, we know we shouldn't be checking user agent data to see if it's Windows. We build the goddamn thing for Windows, so we should be able to bake that in. I feel like that's taking the easy way out. Or not easy, taking the stupid way out. How many likes do we have? Will somebody please like the stream so I can hit 100 and go home? I feel like testing the user agent to see if we're on Windows is not necessary because this is a Tari app that is specifically compiled or built for either Windows or Mac. So we should have a more surefire way of determining what platform we're on, whether that's a build time injection variable or something that Tari itself provides. But I feel like testing the browser is not something we should be doing. And I'd like to centralize that as a single source of truth somewhere. So the question is, oh, Nightbot, that's nice. So I guess I need mods because people are spamming. But it looks like Nightbot is on it. I don't know what Nightbot is, but that's cool. So You may be wondering, when do we read the code? When do we not read the code? You'll notice for the mobile app, I'm not reading the code at all. I'm just letting her rip. But for this one, I'm reading it back and correcting it when it goes wrong. The mobile app is totally greenfield. Nobody freaking uses it. it doesn't even exist. So I'm gonna let it spike out the whole thing. I did a bunch of research, and it's working off of a multi-phase plan markdown document. So it's not like I just said go make a mobile app. But for Solo, the actual application, people are using it, and it's in a good spot. And so I'm coming in here and reviewing what it's actually doing, because this is a shipped application. I'm fine letting it rip on greenfield stuff, but for this, if you don't keep your hands on the wheel, it's gonna do stupid stuff like this. Like, it's gonna add these helpers that it doesn't need, and so you just tell it, don't do that. Yeah, this is the mobile app right here. It's building. It's been building for a couple hours now. If you're gonna win, you gotta go for it, you know? All right, so so desktop 2 is alive. Look at this. 1, 2, that's the one we want. I need to go to to-dos, new to-do, new to-do. We're gonna test bulk to-do editing. Bad robot indeed. All right, so now, yeah, that completes it. So that's confusing. It'll be Android too. Select. Okay. It's not crazy. Did you know, how about this? Did you know you can put slashes in your tags? So if you did foo/bar, it just shows up as foo bar. But up here, no, not select. Up here, it creates a folder. Ta-da! How cool is that? Not bad, right? I'm not sure if this is abundantly clear to me that this means complete. In fact, I am sure that it's abundantly clear to me that that is unclear. That would not be my first assumption, that that means complete. I would assume that means select. That's what I would assume. So when I click on that, I'm expecting to select that to do. So the real question is, do I need one click to do completion? Codex is very defensive. Do I need one click to do completion? I don't know if I do. I think I would prefer that to be select. Yep, that's what I would prefer. And I'm the captain. Okay, that looks good. I want to change one thing. Right now, when we hover, we change the to-do number to an affordance that allows them to click to complete. We're actually just going to remove that altogether. And now the hover affordance is going to be click to select. That allows us to also get rid of the select button in the top right. And we're just going to lose the click to complete to do, because the more the user expectation is that that little circle is a select. So here's what we're going to do. Remove the click to complete altogether. Replace that circle with the checkbox on hover that you used for selecting. Get rid of the select button in the top right, because now we have a quick and easy way to get there. Selecting any to-do moves all the to-dos into select mode, and remove the blue border for selection and just keep the blue background. Let's see how that looks. Come on. Come on, monologue. Okay. Can't believe that paste thing is still there. All right, so it's just running type checks, which means we can go ahead and, what is it? It's option tab. Oh, we're in a bad spot there. We're going to go ahead and just close that bad boy out. Yep. And we're going to restart it. All right, we will see if pasting is fixed over here. Okay. All right, you're building, you're stuck. Oh yeah, Aaron, it is cooking right now. I very specifically built the groundwork, or like the kind of the base layers of Solo to allow both mobile apps and cloud environments and remote environments. So at some point, I won't need to remote into this machine to run Solo on code bases over here. I can just be on this machine connected to that machine in the back. But we're a good ways away from that. Okay, those are done. All right, you're fixing that. Let's see what desktop 2. Yeah, that feels better. I'm not in love with the... Ugh. Well, that'll have to be readdressed. That will have to be readdressed after the redesign anyway. We're just going to have to live with that, I think. Okay, that's looking better. The only thing is when we enter select mode, we need to lose these filters. I don't know what Windows machine it is. I think it's just... It was just whatever's like cheap but kind of reasonable. Brother, I don't even know where to start here. It's just a laptop I got off of Amazon. Microsoft Surface laptop, 7th edition. For the Linux machine, it's just like a, I don't even know, like a ThinkPad or something. I tried to get something that was like, it could run, Rust and all of this, but it's not a very good machine. All right, so you think that you fixed pasting. Oh, almost said the F word. So frustrating. No, I can't. Not right now. I wish. I'm working on a full redesign, so I'm not gonna tinker with little stuff, unfortunately. But when the full redesign is done, please. How is that still there? Oop, oop, oop. All right, so if I do Command C, no, it didn't copy. Also, it's freaking out. I don't know what it's doing here. All right. Oh no, you're fine. I wish I could fix everything. But the design is the big thing. Like that's the next big blocker. And so I'm trying to get through that. I'm trying to hold myself back from doing all of the other things. Okay, so pasting is working. Don't you dare, Matt. Been wanting that voice back interaction. Talk to Solo and have it whiteboard with me while kicking off agents. See, what is this doing? Maybe it's my keyboard. Okay, so Control C is like doing the actual proper. How do you guys freaking use Windows? So if I were to highlight this and do Command C, yeah, it like. How are you supposed to do this on Windows? How are you supposed to hit Control C without like sending that through to the terminal? You know what I mean? All right, but if I right click and copy, that works. Now if I do Command Shift O and I take a picture and I drag the picture in, that works. Okay. Okay, that's much better, and you'll have to forgive me because I've never used Windows, or I haven't in 19 years. How am I supposed to do Control C in a terminal without like that falling through to the terminal? Do you know what I mean? How am I supposed to copy out of a terminal? All right, let's see what it says. Are you done? You're the one that has no codex permissions, so I'm going to kill you. All right, you're on cleanup duty. You are the one that's supposed to be doing the to-dos. So that's desktop 2. Yeah, that feels much better. Like I said, I don't love the backgrounds, but that's okay. When we enter into bulk select mode, can we also hide the filters? Select and middle mouse click. Oh, so you would select and right mouse click. But Control C, like, it goes through to the underlying process and it interrupts it. It like sends the SIGINT, does it not? Or I think it's SIGINT. Huh, yes, I know exactly what you mean. In a plain terminal, Control C should not copy. All right, well, that's fine. Cool. Control Shift C. Oh. Well, I don't want to surprise people, so we're not going to do the tricky route. Control Shift C. All right, let's try that. Alt Tab. So if I do scan timeout and I do Control Shift C, and then I come down here and I do, I think Control Shift V, they said should work. Control V should also work. And because of my keyboard map, Command V should work. Okay, so copying and pasting in and out of a terminal works. Let's launch a Claude. Oh, I don't know what the hell that means. All right. Copy, right-click, paste. Right-click, paste does not work in Claude. Right-click, paste does work in a terminal. All right, what about, wrong button. God dang it. Control T, codecs. Yes, I trust it. We're missing a background there. Right-click, paste. Control V. Control Shift V. Failed to paste image. All right, so that's a codecs thing. Control V, Control Shift V. Okay, cool. All right, that's helpful. Thank you. Copying and pasting works in a regular terminal, but in Claude Code, I cannot paste. So I don't know if we're advertising the wrong... Oh, man. I don't know if we're advertising the wrong capabilities. I don't know if Kitty is a thing on Windows. I can right-click and paste, but I can't Control V and paste into Claude. I can't Control V. Wait, now I can. I can't Control Shift V. I can Control V now. Well, that's not helpful then. What the hell? Now it works. What does that mean? All right, let's try this. Ah, that works. That's nice. Hey, that works. That's nice. All right, well. Shift Enter, that works. Shift Enter does not work on... Okay. Okay, you can commit that slice. And then we need to look at Shift Enter and create a universal path for that. Remembering, of course, that it works on Mac, but Shift Enter on Windows on Codex does not create a new line. It does create a new line in Claude Code. So I don't know if we're advertising the wrong capabilities, we're not responding to a OSC code or a probe, a DSC probe or whatever it is, or if Kitty is a thing on Windows. I basically have no idea, but I do know that Shift Enter in Codex is not entering a new line. Oh, guys, what have I gotten myself into? Besides hitting the wrong keys constantly. All right, can I confirm that that is true? ASDF. Yeah, that is true. All right. Good luck. Have fun. I've got to get this version of Solo updated so these timers work. Keep going. All right, so you should have cleared. Yeah, there we go. I don't know. Oh, that's actually really nice. All right, I'm actually fine with that. That looks good to me. Okay, that looks good. Are there any other tests we need to add before we commit this? All right, we're getting close. The beta is out. I've streamed for 2 hours. I have not hit 100 likes, guys. I need you to like it. Look at all these solos we've got running down here. The main untested UI path is tag editor. Can we test that without doing an end-to-end test? I kind of want to see this redesign. Like, I want to see how it's doing, but it's in a temp branch or like a temp work tree. So I don't think I can cleanly launch it. Okay, perfect. Please do that. No, Solo isn't specifically. Codex spun up a work tree for it. Aaron, tell me why. That's what I need to know. I don't like how anybody does it, so I need to know why you don't like it, because that's helpful. Tell me why you don't like work trees. That's what I want to know. Well, why do you not like the way that other apps have implemented work trees? I'm trying not to eat anything on stream, but this is just trail mix. I cannot believe that this thing is still going. Can you see the solo MCP? Perfect. Can you tell me how long this process has been running? I feel like it's like 48 hours at this point. No, it is absolutely running. Uptime seconds is null. I wonder if it ticked over some. I wonder if it ticked over some SQLite barrier. That's funny. I'll need to figure out why that is. All right, good. All right, you can run npm pre-push. What are the most pressing outstanding to-dos that we still have open? Windows is coming along. We might be ready for a Windows release this week. As long as all the Windows people are nice, because there are definitely going to be bugs. As you've seen, I don't even know how to use Windows. All right, you're done. Your Discord. All right, gang, we're getting close. This is reading all the to-dos. Yeah, I don't know. I don't use, you can see I've got 4 different checkouts here. They're just different clones. They're all just in separate, folders. Yeah, there are plans for split view. That's also behind the redesign, because that's going to be a big one. I need to add that to the blockers. So after the design is done, we got to get split view as well. Yeah, talk to me about number 725. I think that is, when was that one added? I feel like that one was added last night because I discovered it while I was trying to do something. Is that right? Yeah, man, I'm trying to use Windows and I'm always just freaking pushing the wrong god dang buttons. So I can see why they would be mad all the time. All right, so you're still trying to get through committing, and then you're going to look at Shift Enter. You are building a mobile control bridge local interpreter. So one of the good things about writing your own terminal from scratch is that, man, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know why it's slow. One of the good things about writing your own terminal is you can control the wire format. So you can ship tiny little patches. So the back end controls the processes and the PTY handling and the output. And it also keeps a grid in the back end, a representation of what the terminal should look like. And it can send tiny patches to the front end to selectively paint the damaged areas, the places that have changed. And so now what I can do is replay those patches over a durable object. Woo! So I can replay them through a WebSocket via a durable object to your phone. So everybody's going to get a durable object. You get a durable object. You get a durable object. Everybody gets a durable object, and we're going to replay. The terminal, not the whole output, just the frame patches, which is this really compressed non-JSON format. Because even JSON is too verbose for this. Because you end up actually spending a lot of time in JSON serialization and then deserialization. Which is bad news bears. So we have a different format, and I won't tell you what it is because who knows who's watching, you know? But it's a good format. It's a great format. Nobody's ever seen a format like this. NPM pre-push passed. Okay, you can commit and push, but update the changelog first. I think that must have been a screenshot that I took. I don't know if I really want to go through all my screenshots on stream. Probably save that for later. All right, chat. I'm getting tired. Also got to go home. I got kids, man. A new version of Codex Bar. Sure, that's fine. Somebody rung a bell. Was it you? It was you. Look at this. Look how cool this is. So performance D, their focus validation passed, but agent AW blocked it on proof weakness. It asserted text only. It didn't actually prove the rows were rebuilt. So these guys are like ripping each other. Block. The proof is weak. Cool. Good job, gang. Keep up the good work. All right, what do you guys want to know? I'm gonna sign off here in a second. What do you got? Hit me with some QA or something. Yep. Rebase. How's Windows doing? Windows is chasing down the Shift Enter in Codex. There we go. This is one of the good things about having huge amounts of dev logs, is it can just go read the logs. So it sounds like for Codex, we did not either advertise or respect Kitty. Kitty keyboard protocol, response flags, current support. It thinks the same thing. It's possible that you have to configure. I know with Claude Code, sometimes you have to configure your terminal inside of Claude Code. There we go. The safest fix looks like a terminal-wide fallback. When no enhanced keyboard mode is active, treat Shift-Enter as LF, Control-J. Control-J is new line. 50, ugh, instead of carriage return. Codex already advertises Control-J as new line. This makes me nervous. It falls back to Control-J new line for Shift-Enter when enhanced keyboard modes are disabled. That's actually a pretty elegant solution. Okay, I take it back. That's actually pretty good. So it falls back to Control-J, which is the universal new line. All right, that's actually a pretty good fix, I think. Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't do well multitasking across different tasks objectives. The only time, I don't know, I feel like that's the problem I have with work trees. All the little gotchas, the env variables, the logs, the ports. That's why I like letting the agent figure it out. So I'm like, hey, I want this thing done. You can dispatch it to as many agents as you want, but you're in charge of making sure they don't overwrite each other. I like that because I like that because then the agent is figuring out, oh, here are the lanes. I don't like working on giant things and trying to keep them all separate. Like, I'm running 4 desktop apps here. This one, I'm just like looking at to-dos. This one, I did a little minor edit on the index of the to-do screen. And this one's actually ripping. This one's doing the full redesign, replay on top of the new branch. And in fact, you're done. See ya. You know what I can do? I can look at my screenshots on a different monitor. Use your head, Aaron. I'm looking for a screenshot where I didn't take a screenshot. Dang, that's too bad. Oh, you know what I maybe did? Maybe I put it over here. Nope. Look at this. Look at all this. Look at all these scratch pads. Terminal gold wave. 2, frame canvas, window frame consumption boundary. So this terminal gold, I used AMP code to do so with open code. I wonder whose fault that is. I'll have to look into that. When did you try solo? How recently? Maybe these tags should always be on a new line. I feel like tags on a new line looks better. So I used AMP, and AMP has a tool built in. AMP has two really good tools built in. One is called the Oracle. One is called the Librarian. God, I guess I did not create a to-do or a scratchpad for that. The Oracle is a tool that like really searches your code base. I don't know what LLMs they're using behind the scenes. On the update when you added 4 projects, that was a long time ago. So try downloading this 0.6.3 release and see if that's any better. If not, let me know. Oracle really searches your code base. Librarian, on the other hand, is their tool that searches GitHub. And it's better than just like using the GH command line. I don't know how they do it. I don't know if they host it or I don't know what they do. But these are the source graph people, so they know code searching. I bet they use source graph actually. So I will task AMP with using the librarian to go find open source implementations of the thing that I'm trying to do. So I'll be like, go look at Xterm, go look at, I think it's Alacrity, go look at Ghosty, go look at WesTerm, and see how they're handling XYZ. And it'll come back and say like, here's the gold standard. Here's what, 3 of the 4 terminals do. And I'm like, great. Now use the Oracle to compare your findings against what we are actually doing. It's like, well, you're doing these 2 things. You're not doing these 8 things. Great. Write a scratchpad. And then I spin up Codex to work off of the scratchpad. And that's how we got to where we are right here. AMP is by far the best code research agent that exists, hands down. Whether it's your own code or open source code, it's fantastic. And I have an AMP series coming to faster.dev maybe this week. Maybe. Don't hold me to that, but we'll see. Look at this. You guys want to see something crazy? Look at this. All right, so we pushed this one 7 minutes ago. Look at that. So this one is a 14 job matrix. This one's a 2 job matrix. And I think one down here is like 5 or 6. This costs me many hundreds of dollars a month to run. I actually have the Mac Studio running as a GitHub Actions runner now. I need to set up the Windows machine and the Linux machine to be GitHub Actions runners too, because this costs me a goddamn fortune. But at some point when this end-to-end Mac OS kicks off, I'll put the Mac Studio on the screen and you'll see that it's actually running on the Mac Studio, which is pretty cool. 6 p.m. Time to go, my friends. All right, 2 more minutes. All right, here's Mac OS end to end. This should start to work. We should see some pop-ups coming up. So this action runs on the Mac Studio, which is very cool. There it is. Look, boom. end-to-end tests. And there's another end-to-end test. So it's running 2 end-to-end lanes, and it's about to launch a third. Oh, there's a third. So I had to build a full end-to-end harness because on Mac, Tari doesn't expose an end-to-end harness because of how WebKit works. So I built out a whole end-to-end harness to run it here. And the good news is this end-to-end harness works on Linux and Windows as well. We planned ahead. Look at that. How freaking cool is that? So we started the stream and I was like manually testing stuff, which is important, I think. It's important to manually test. But this is the real battery of tests to make sure that I don't F anything up. Hell yeah. Passed. Love to see it. All right, my friends. This is absurd. I'm running 4 computers. The one I'm on, the studio, the Tahoe, and the Windows. Well, gang, what do we think? Do we have some fun out there or what? Should I do this more? Tell me how to get better at streaming. I think I need to figure out I think I need to bump the stream to like mega fast so that chat is not so laggy. I'll have to look at Restream to figure that out. And then I'm still torn on music if I'm being honest with you. I'm still a little bit torn on whether I should do music or not. But I'm going to keep going. If you want to win, you got to keep going. All right, I think I'm going to shut it down. I'll wait like 2 minutes because apparently chat takes 1,000 years to get from me to you back to me. But I'm going to shut it down in 2 minutes. So if you have any hopes, dreams, or fears, predictable schedule. That's good. Good to know. Helpful. No music. I'm with you, dog. So do you put your own music on in the background? Music for sure. Fantastic. Great. Good. See? Consistency. Great. I can do it. What else? Oh, there are no more color scheme port to-dos. Guys, we might be able to see the color scheme. Okay, is it in a temp branch or can I just run Tari dev here? No, you didn't miss it. There's no work tree support yet. I'm dissatisfied with standard work tree tools, and I have not yet figured out my take on work trees. So I'm not there yet. For example, okay, move it out of a work tree and put it on a proper top level branch called redesign. I do feel like, let me say it this way. The impetus that would lead you to work trees, I feel, because you'll notice I'm running four clones of the same project, desktop 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I felt the impetus that drives people to work trees. I have not yet felt that work trees are the right answer, or rather, that anyone's figured out a good work tree system yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Conductor, doesn't it force you to do work trees for everything? You can't work on main, or you can't work on a branch or whatever. All right, so you think that you fixed, God freaking dang it. There we go. You think that you fixed, let's just open a new one just for giggles. ASDF, shift enter, F you. We're going to need to add some logging because I hit shift enter in codecs again and it's still submitted. So can we add some logging that ends up in the dev unified log? Having a dev unified log, by the way, absolutely clutch. So the dev unified log is the backend Rust logs interleaved with the front end browser logs. So in my local dev harness or my local dev setup, I capture all console logging and I post it to a tiny little dev server that's running, and it writes the front end logs to a durable file. So I can see Rust, browser, Rust, browser. But more importantly, the agent can see it. That's the important part. Yeah, that's fine. So now all it has to do is add front end logging, and it'll show up in the dev unified log, and we can trace the whole thing all the way through. Numpad enter. What the hell are you Windows people on about? This is crazy. Numpad enter. All right, let's read this chat. Conductor does right now, though I solved this in my Atlas Workspaces tool with the idea of primary environments. I like that. Also, hi, Andrea. Aaron says, I think Conductor used to be only work tree, but I feel like there's a local option. I don't know. I can't say. That would be interesting intel to have, though. Maybe that's superset m- or 21st dev. God, there's so many. Max Blade. Hey, Max. Solo is awesome. Thanks. I built the stream overlay today, and I'm really happy with it. The stream overlay is it is a Nuxt app, so it's just a Vue.js app. And it's cool because I made it, but it's also cool. Let's see, how do I? All right, let's do a little inside baseball here. A little stream inside baseball just for giggles. All right. So we've pushed some buttons before, which are fun. It's fun to push the buttons. We'll do main as overhead. What's up? So we got a couple of cool things going on here, right? We got desktop blur. We can hide the main one. It just drops it out altogether. Main overhead, inset overhead, main SDI, inset SDI. So this is cool, if I may say so. What is also cool is, let's see, I want inset SDI. What's also cool is that this stream overlay is a Nuxt app. So if I were to go to localhost, I think it's 3013. This is the stream overlay. You can see it has knockouts, and then I chroma key it in OBS. So I just put it in as a browser. just put it in as a browser, chroma key out that part, and then the stream is literally an overlay so that it always looks nice. So if I were to drag a window to the wrong spot, it's going to cut it out. But it also has an API, so I can do something like this. Let's see. I need to switch to this computer. And if I were to type in, hey, everyone, and copy it, so I put it in my clipboard, and then I push this button on my Stream Deck that says paste, and it updates the currently building. So it changes it to, hey, everyone. The goals has an API as well. I haven't built Stream Deck buttons for it. So I just tell Codex, hey, can you update that? And it updates that too. So I'm super happy with it. And it's just a, it's just a web app. Whoa, infinite loop. Cameras. Let's do this. Let's do this. Main. I gotta get better at this. Here we go. All right. This mic right here is my Shure M just the normal podcaster guy mic, and it runs XLR all the way back there into the closet back there where it has a Focusrite, and it brings it into OBS. This camera right here, this camera runs through SDI. So I have HDMI out, and then it runs into a Blackmagic SDI converter, and it runs an SDI cable all the way to the back. You can see right here, those are SDI cables coming from the area that has the chalkboard and everything. So I have all those SDI cables, and they all run to the back as well. This camera actually runs through an HDMI splitter first because I use this for my webcam. So pretty cool. I only record in OBS when I'm doing the multicam setup out there. I have, I don't know if this is going to mess everything up. I have this multi-stream view, and all of those have source record filters on them. So when I am doing database school, all three of those cameras are running, and I just hit start record, and it records clean feeds of all of them. But if I'm just doing a desktop, like a desktop recording, I usually just do it right here on this computer with ScreenFlow instead of recording on the Mac Studio in the back. Cool, huh? I have another scene, which is just full. It's a little more space if it's not that much more space, honestly, but it's cool. All right, gang, let's put the desktop back on. I don't know if you saw, that's what I was talking about there. Shall we? I think that's it. I think that's all I got, my friends. Let's see, am I still going on YouTube? It's still live. All right, my friends, thanks for hanging out. I'll do this more often. I'll try to get a regular schedule going. This is fun. I like this. Thanks for hanging. We'll talk soon. See you later, my friends. It is a huge desk. All right, we're going to let the chat come in. Bye, Andrea. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Good to see you, Max. We'll chat. All right. That's it. I'm going to push the button. Where's the button? Where's the button? Where's the button? Here we go. All right.